All right, let's talk NFL. Let's talk football. Lions, massive win, needed the win, and they did it with style. Jared Goff played what I think might be the best game of his career. I mean, for one, 18 for 18 hadn't been done in the modern era ever, that a quarterback has 100% completion rating at the end of a game, throwing at least one pass. Like, or I mean, the fact that he threw double digit passes, the fact that he threw the ball 18 times and was completed every single time is incredible. A 155 rating on ESPN, a 95 QBR on ESPN, a couple of touchdowns as well for him, 292 yards, so nearly 300-yard game, and a receiving touchdown. So, like, this was the Jared Goff game. He looked poised. He looked elite. He looked like the guy that led us to that division title last year and the playoff wins last year. And that's a welcome sight to see. And I hope that this is just the start of things, that he can be that guy for relatively the rest of the season. Lions obviously going into a bye this week, and they need it because there was no Frank Ragnow in this game, which is all the more impressive that he was able to look this good and that the offense was able to look this good. And no Brian Branch either. Those guys going to get healthy, hopefully by the time of the bye week. By the time the bye week ends, because they got Dallas on the road there, which is not going to be an easy game, depending on how Dallas ends up. I don't know if Dallas is going to be any good, but either way, a great win for the offense. I mean, this is just like complete and utter dominance offensively. I mean, just looking at the team stats in the red zone, Lions were perfect, 5 for 5. We never had to settle for a field goal. Every time that we got in plus territory, practically, I think actually every time we got in plus territory, we scored a touchdown. And it was rushing touchdowns in the beginning of the game. Then you had the deep ball to JMO. That was an amazing play. JMO, as soon as he put the gas on, I said in the broadcast, I said, "Oh, he's gone. He's gone." The moment he caught that ball and he was in space, and there was one man to beat, and he beat him, he's gone. You're not catching him. Jameson Williams, a couple of catches for 80 yards for him. And what's even crazier is we lost the possession battle as far as time of possession goes. Seattle had the ball for more than half the game, and it didn't matter. They couldn't score, or they couldn't score 30 points, I should say. They couldn't match our offense. If they scored a touchdown, we scored a touchdown. When they turned that ball over in the first half, and we turned that into a touchdown, they didn't know it yet, and I didn't know it yet, but the game was over because we were on multiple possessions, and our offense was clicking. We only had 21 first downs. They had 38 first downs. Now, with that, I transitioned into the negative of this game, which is that the defense did not look good. Geno Smith threw the ball 56 times for 38 completions, 395 yards, had a touchdown. He did throw an interception, though, to be fair, and he was sacked 3 times. Either way, this was still overall not a great day for the defense. Total on the ground, they gave up 133 yards, 80 yards to Kenneth Walker. Now, to be fair, they hold another single player to less than 100 yards, so it's not terrible. But Kenneth Walker was running better than anybody had ran on our defense in a long time. DK Metcalf was getting his 7 catches, 104 yards for him, but no touchdowns for him either. The only receiving touchdown they gave up was to A.J. Barner. Did anybody have him on their bingo card of getting a receiving touchdown today? Because I don't think I did. Kenneth Walker, on the other hand, had 3 rushing touchdowns. He was practically their whole offense. Reminded me of Michigan State. But no, I mean, the defense did struggle. No doubt about it. Kirby Joseph continuing, though, to have a great game or a great start to his season. He led the team in tackles with 9 total tackles for him. Although the reason that he's leading the team in tackles is they were throwing the ball and completing it, and so he had to make those tackles because he's a safety. You usually don't want your safety to lead in tackles unless he's blitzing a lot. But either way, it was a bit of a rough night for the defense, and not without some help from the referees, I will say. There was some very questionable calls there by the referees that definitely favored Seattle, but there were also some questionable calls that favored Detroit, especially near the end there. But I guess I just call it even at that point. There's questionable calls that go either way. and Detroit ended up coming away with the win despite the questionable calls that didn't go their way. But defensively, I will just say this. I don't know what kind of evil, like, mind warping powers that Geno Smith seems to have when he comes to play in Ford Field. Because every single time he does, he just lights it up. I don't know how he does it. He did it in 2022. He did it last year. He did it this year. And he nearly won the game. Seattle very well could have won this game. But Lions offensively was too much. And the turnovers went in favor of Detroit. It's funny because, last year, the turnovers, Detroit could have won that game if not for the turnovers. And this year, Seattle could have won this game if not for their turnovers. I mean, you fumble the ball on your second drive, and that turns into a touchdown, and then a game-sealing practically, a game-sealing interception by Kirby Joseph at the end there. It's funny how things work out like that. It's funny how sometimes, games are really decided by these one or two big plays in big moments. Don't get it twisted. Seattle is still a very good team. Their defense definitely not all that good. I mean, you give up 40 points to anybody, that's usually not a good sign. But offensively, they can keep up with teams. I mean, they were rocking us in the second half. They scored 13 points in the third quarter alone, and they only failed because they only got the 13 because they failed on the 2-point conversion. But either way, this was a must-needed win. The Lions get themselves to 3-1, go into the bye, get healthy. Oh, and before I end this section, the black uniforms for the Lions are so good. I'm looking forward to the next time they wear these. I don't know when it is. I'm sure it's going to be another primetime game when they wear them. But they're just so cool. They're so cool looking. I love how they even decked out. The end zone had black outline on the Lions nameplate there, and then you had the black on the sideline padding. It was so cool. It was a great environment. Detroit delivered on Monday night. They got the win. Primetime Goff is that guy. So we're on to the bye week, and then after that, we're on to Dallas. So I'm gonna be like hate watching Dallas as I always do. And I'm just saying, if we beat the Cowboys, beating the Seahawks is one thing, right? That was one that was like, okay, finally, we get this stupid team and get them out of here. Beating the Cowboys. Now that would truly make me happy. Watching, little Dak Prescott or Tony Romo 2.0, as I like to call him, just beating that bum in his house and watching Jerry Jones slowly just descend into it like a skeleton, like at the end of the third Indiana Jones movie. Like that would bring nothing but joy to watch all those pathetic loser Cowboy fans who haven't seen anything successful in their sports life, because most of them weren't alive when the Cowboys actually won Super Bowls. I can go on forever because I can't stand the Cowboys and I just love seeing them lose. So either way, and for that game last year where they had to get bailed out by the refs when they absolutely lost to us, and I'll go to my grave saying that they lost that game to us. Either way, we're on to Dallas, and the Lions train is really starting to roll. So maybe they'll make things fun 2 weeks from now and blow out Dallas and their bum ass quarterback. So looking forward to that. That's all I got. I got nothing else. Hi, it's me again. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like and subscribe button. We do live shows every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there.